Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse, and I thought we'd give our friend Cliff Courtney a call. He and his wife own Stehekin Valley Ranch in the North Cascades National Park Complex in Washington State. Cliff, happy spring to you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, John. It's great to be back on your program.
Well, Cliff, I've got to ask. I know you are getting ready for opening day, which I understand is, Memorial Day weekend this year?
We are going to be open for Memorial Weekend this year, just for a few nights, but the real starting date is 15th is when we're open full-time, full swing.
So I've got to ask, the weather down here in the Wenatchee Valley where I call home and in much of the Northwest, well, it really is starting to feel like spring. We've had some sunny days. Flowers are getting ready to pop out, and in some cases really are. What about up there in Stehekin? Is the snow melted?
Well, spring comes a little later in Stehekin. You know, we're often about a month behind Wenatchee Valley, but it'll melt quick. We still have about 20 inches of snow at the ranch, but it's going to melt quick, and in a couple of weeks we'll be able to get on the ground and start fixing up buildings and getting everything in ship shape for the season.
I think some of our listeners in the mountains of Idaho and in Montana and Wyoming probably feel your weather right now as we speak. All right, so let's talk about the early opening. Again, you're opening up Memorial Day weekend. I guess before we even get into that, I know you always hire people for the summer. Are you still looking for folks, or are you fully staffed and ready to go?
Yeah, we're actually looking pretty good for our staff this year. We have a lot of return folks and locals working, and so we're actually looking pretty good for staff. We have a breakfast lunch cook, I think, yet to hire, and possibly a bus driver, but we're looking pretty good.
Well, I'm glad to hear you've got so many return folks, because that's one thing I love about your ranch. The customer service that your staff offers, definitely first rate. And folks, you're going to love it if you go to the ranch. You're going to feel right at home with some very friendly people. Let's talk about some of the specials that you've got right out the gate. One of them is with a local outfitter, and it combines hiking and a stay at the ranch.
Yeah, as you know, John, that's how our family got started in the valley there. My dad started the outfitting business in 1947, and my youngest son has taken that over, so it's great to have that, a third-generation family business. And so we put together a little special over Memorial Weekend. Not only are we open at the ranch for normal operation, you can go to the website, but also Stehekin Outfitters is running a lakeshore trail trip, and that's a 17-mile-long trail that goes along the shore of Lake Chelan. And it's not a horse trip per se, but it's a camping trip where we supply all the tents and all the meals, all the food. You have a trip on the Lady 2 up to Prince Creek. You camp a couple nights along the lakeshore in a couple different places. And then for your listeners only, I put together a special. That trip is 3 nights long, but I put together a 4th night. If you want to come and spend an extra night, so May 29th at the ranch, it's usually another $140 to stay there, but for $74 more, so for a total of $499 a person, you can do that trip, have a camping trip, get to see Lake Chelan and the trail, and then come and spend the night at the ranch for $499. So if they'll mention that they heard about this special on your show, then that'll be a package that we put together for them.
That is a fantastic package. Again, let me get this straight. So I get to hike on the Lakeshore Trail, and folks, this is not the Pacific Crest Trail. It's not going to be snowed over in May. The Lakeshore Trail is right along the lake. No problems with snow there. Definitely very scenic. So 3 days, 3 nights of hiking and camping, and then I get to put up my feet, so to speak, and stay in one of your cabins and eat in your wonderful day lodge and all that delicious food that you offer. All of this for only $499.
That's correct. 4 nights, 5 days, 3 nights on the trail, and one night at the ranch. And that's in a ranch cabin, too, with the bathroom. And once you get to the valley, we provide all the transportation. So it's kind of an all-inclusive package and exclusively for your listeners.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Cliff, this sounds like a great hiking getaway, and especially for that price. And as much as I'd like to take you up on it personally, I'm going to be visiting you in June for your adventure getaway, and I understand you still got a few of these available. Tell our listeners what's in store for me and for them if they want to join us.
Well, we have about 3 different packages, but 2 of them exclusively for June, the last 2 weeks of June. The Family Fun Package, which is kind of a package designed to attract families in that have some kids. You'll look on the website, and you'll see it's kind of set up all the pricing for a family of 4, but that's kind of a sampler. If you have 1 kid or 3 kids or whatever, we can make it work with the same discount. It's over 10% off, and that includes some activities like kayaking and the horseback ride lessons. And then, of course, you can always add on to that and do other things on your own, such as the electric bikes or the electric boats or hiking or the regular horseback ride. But that's the Family Fun Package. Then we have the Express Adventure Package, a little bit shorter. It's only a couple nights. Well, the other one's 3 nights, and it includes the horseback ride and kayaking as well. So you can look on there and look at the different adventure packages. And, of course, starting May 15th, we're also open for normal operation. If you want to just come for 1 night and make your own package, that's great. But the packages work good. You get a little bit of reduction in cost, and we also do all the bookings for you and set everything up for you and make it easy.
Well, and it's so much fun, folks. Literally, you get on the boat and you take a nice long ride, or if the faster boat's running, a fast ride from Fields Point or Chelan up to Stehekin, and then you go ahead and get on a bus. They'll take you out to the ranch, and again, you get to enjoy these adventures. So, Cliff, the horseback rides there. I really enjoyed the one I went on a few years ago, and it's to Howard Lake, formerly known as Coon Lake. And that is just a lot of fun. I got the impression that you don't need a whole lot of experience.
That's right, John. It's just a walking pace on the very docile Norwegian fjord horses. It is a mountain trail, but you don't have to be an experienced rider. Very picturesque ride up to the lake there. It's on a bench right above the ranch, so it's right handy to where you're staying.
And that's what, about a 3-hour trip altogether?
Yep, but it takes about 3 hours altogether. And if you don't want to take that whole ride, if you want to just do lessons or the kids want to do lessons, we also have horseback riding lessons from the ranch as well.
And tell our listeners a little bit about the kayak trip they can go on.
So we don't do whitewater kayaking. We just do kayaking down on Lake Chelan. It's a guided trip. It's about a 2-hour trip out on the headwaters of Lake Chelan there in the upper estuary. Lots of wildlife, waterfowl. And on a decent day, we'll actually take you down to the Indian pictographs to see those. So just a real pretty trip there on Lake Chelan in the kayaks with a guide.
Well, there you go, folks. Some great reasons for a late May or June trip to Stehekin. You can either go on this great hiking package we told you about for a very low price. Just mention that you heard it here on Northwestern Outdoors Radio when you call Stehekin Valley Ranch, or book that other package where you can go kayaking, horseback riding, take the family with you. And if you don't want to do that, if you just want to go to the ranch, that's okay too. The website to find out about it all is StehekinValleyRanch.com. That's Stehekin, spelled Stehekin, ValleyRanch.com. Stehekin Valley Ranch is the place to go for adventures, for relaxation, and more. And you can do it this May and this June. Cliff, thanks as always for sharing this with us on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Well, it's great to be back on your program, and I hope to see you in June.